yeah, we want to get it back out to phase 2, but I'm still, you know, even though it doesn't make like all the sense like in the moment,
Right.
it's still linked up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I mean, you know, the idea here is like in session, you're trying, like you were saying, like you're feeling like you're piggybacking off the previous appointment.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, the idea is like, okay, you played with that right trunk rotation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was high quality last appointment,
Yes.
right? So, and then you're, you know, we're in theory here
Well,
on.
actually, sorry, you had given me the cues. Like I would tap into that right trunk rotation because it
Yep.
cleared him up before. You guys were just like,
Yes, yeah,
I
like
would like kind of go into that.
this thing helped him, this right trunk rotation.
Yeah. So this is what he was low quality on.
Okay,
and then
so
having this like next step kind of coming back.
okay, so right side bend.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's he like?
Okay. So right side bend is constantly low quality, right? Like he does not. Whenever he comes in, it's low quality,
Yep.
right? There's no scenario where it's
Yeah,
really
it hasn't
high
been.
quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good indicator that this is not the issue. And I would not chase this anymore.
Because it's not okay, but that is the thing that's not changing.
Correct. So it's an indicator of something we can check back on
Yeah.
to see if it's changing. But this thing, especially because we've decided
Yeah.
that he's there,
Yeah.
that shortened position, his system is telling him, don't work in this position. You're,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, does that
Yeah.
kind of make sense? So,
Yeah, for sure.
so you can kind of chase this, and you end up kind of like chasing your tail with
Yeah.
this kind of thing, right? So I like and am interested in the fact that something like right trunk rotation improved it, right?
And pelvic floor improved it, and plyoing out of it. So all these things improved it. That's the thing that's also.
Pelvic floor, so that makes sense, right? Stability,
Yeah.
getting out of that position,
Yeah.
that makes sense. And then getting out of that position, that makes sense. So all indicators are pointing to get out of this position.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Pelvic floor probably pops him up and gets him in some T-spine extension, gets him out of that position. Right?
Yeah.
Um,
I was trying to see about the myo. I feel like we tried myo the other way.
yeah. Right, so that's a good option, right? Is he high quality left side bend?
Yes.
Okay. And,
Left side bend, it's just like, it's
Yeah.
a completely night and day.
okay. And then can he myo into left side bend?
Yes. I mean, if he can do it. I don't know that it cleared it though.
Clear what?
This.
Don't even worry about that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is
But he can do it.
okay. Yeah, I mean, so like when you say he can do it, like he can do it under loaded conditions.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, and that's the thing. Like if we're thinking, you know, in hypotheses with okay, I think left side bend is going to reverse engineer right side bend.
Yeah.
Then we'll first I know this is, but just reinforcing the shit. First QMMC it. Okay, it is high quality. That's great. Or, you know, I don't know, maybe it was low quality at one point. I think it was at one point. His left side bend. I think at one point, like way back when. Maybe not.
Maybe. I mean, it could have been. I don't have that in my recent.
I think I remember testing his spine in a bunch of different quadrants and like seeing that there was a bunch of low quality stuff.
Well, and like hands up. So then we go back to this like lumbar flexion, not necessarily. And he's high quality in trunk flexion, supine. So there's that. Lateral trunk flexion, supine, he's
like crunched up and side bending?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
just this.
Lateral flexion. Okay,
Lateral
sorry.
flexion.
Yeah.
And then when he's hands off the table in lateral lumbar flexion,
Yep.
he was low quality both sides.
Yeah, so then we don't want to go there.
Right.
We don't want to play with that until we figure out why
Right.
that's bilaterally low quality.
And then when I tried to get him to do kind of like the reverse engineer of the right hip hike, he was like, ooh, it's crampy over here.
Okay.
That was like the report. So maybe that's like a weakness or, what did I write down? I'm just thinking it's kind of like if he's already kind of jammed up in that right hip hike, we did try to reverse it in the supine position.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah, I think
Cramp pain.
figuring out what you're trying to do is really important.
Yeah.
But right, because like what it sounds like is it's kind of like that kind of thing. I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm just saying like right now the playing field or like the chess pieces. It's kind of like all right, let's throw this here, let's throw this here, let's throw this here, see what happens. Versus like kind of consolidating a theory and exhausting that theory.
Yeah.
And then so like I mean, let's see. So your rationale for testing lateral lumbar flexion was to see if his lumbar spine was stable.
Yes.
Okay, and the answer is it's not stable.
Yes.
Okay, check. So that's hypothesis. Okay, so we know. I'm working through this in my head too. So lumbar spine not stable.
Right.
Okay. So if the lumbar spine is not stable, then and this is how I work through this thing is like okay, lumbar spine not stable because of lateral lumbar flexion bilateral low quality. So then you're like, okay, question number one. Is it because he's stuck in right hip hike? Okay, cool. Right? So then you're like, okay, that's theory one. So you're like, I'm gonna run this hip hike left to reverse engineer. Okay, so you did that, and then you went response cramp.
Yeah.
And how many times did you try it?
I think we did it two.
2 times.
Two
Did
times.
the cramp change?
I think that's like bad documentation on my part. I think I might have stopped doing that because it cramped.
So 1 time.
Let's say 1 time.
Okay.
I don't have videos
So
on that.
okay, cool. No, that's cool. So I mean, that's not enough
Yeah.
reps to even get a good data point on
Okay.
whether the system is potentiating there.
Yeah.
Even though we got an unwanted sensation, we know that potentiation of the system and kind of that motor learning process
Yeah.
can change that cramp response. So if it is a reverse engineer issue, you want to run this maybe 2 to 3 times to see if we're starting to see some changes in the system there. So don't and this is the thing, I remember this with like Jeremiah a lot in the beginning. It was like nothing, not working.
Yeah.
Instead of like, okay, here's our hypothesis.
Yeah. Hypothesis.
Let's do the first thing. What's going on? Right hip hike stuck? Maybe? Let's try hip hike. Okay, let's see what happens. Chill. How you feel? Walk around. After we do 2 or 3, do it again. Check it out. Okay, and then you'll just, for 20 minutes, just kind of explore this, feel his pelvis, see what he's doing. Is he doing some weird stuff with the spine? If he stops doing the weird stuff with the spine, okay, let's keep rolling with that. Give him different cues. Hike here, drive your heel here.
Yeah.
We've done stuff like push through the heel, and you're like, that's not working. Like, use your rib cage. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
there it is. Like, just kind of figuring out like what gives them the right juice.
Right.
And then it's fine if it doesn't work, because then we can go to the next thing, right? But yeah, this is, so like, this is the beauty of that report of findings, is like, let's explore this hip hike thing because of reverse engineering, because I think your pelvis is stuck. The next thing I'm gonna try is right trunk rotation. Check right trunk rotation. So yeah, we could have hypothesis 1, hip hike left, hypothesis 2, right trunk rotation issue, hypothesis 3, left side bend issue.
Yeah.
Is it one of those? Is it all of them? Is it 2 of those? And just kind of, you can spend, the cool thing is like you can probably get all of this done in one appointment.
Right.
Check it, and then the same thing, like let's just run the same scenario here. Like let's just say here hip hike did help, like meaning
Yeah.
like hip hike improved lateral lumbar flexion quality. Then what you could do is, if the ISO's helping, let's run with a myo. Like, okay, good, that myo's working. Maybe you'll leave it at a myo because we're not trying to plyo back into that same position.
Yeah.
Right? But you can maybe plyo this side into left hip hike if we're trying to stimulate that left hip hike system. Maybe not necessary. You can play with that. Like if you do one and you're like, this feels funky, don't even mess with the plyo. Just work on that myo, getting this tissue contracting over here. And then if like you're seeing like right side bend gets better, seated.
Yeah.
Like you're like, okay, now right side bend's better, lateral lumbar flexion's better. I'd be like, dude, let's take this. So after you go MOCs, or modes contractions, then I'd go configs.
Yeah.
If you're starting to see quality up, and then if you're seeing that, then I'd take him and do this standing and start running some fatigue resistance there.
Okay.
With that situation.
And now, because you're supine lateral lumbar flexion, okay, but then when you're seated like that with that 90-90,
Yep.
you're not really you're more like trunk side bending, right? Like there's
I mean, the majority of it's coming from T-spine. Yeah. You could go from here.
Right.
That would be more driving, like keeping the
Okay.
spine. So like what I like to do is I'll have somebody like put their hands on my shoulders to brace their
Yep.
spine, shift their knees or shift their feet and
Yeah.
hips, and then test them out.
Yeah.
Test them out like that.
What's interesting, I just looked at my notes too, real quick, to backtrack.
Yeah.
So what I said on the left side, okay, so he was stronger, stronger with his hands on the left side. It was way more work.
Stronger with his hands.
Yeah, like holding the table, stronger with hands holding the table. Left
Oh.
side, way more work.
Stronger, like it was higher quality left.
Yes.
Okay.
Which makes sense because he was able to kind of anchor himself down.
Okay.
Right. I feel like right he was. Okay, again he was low quality left side. Apparently he was low quality left side before as well. Right without hands. Okay, yeah, with the hands he was fine on the right side. But I do remember him like bearing down and like I feel like he got it. I improved with reps on the right side.
And left did not improve.
No.
So left was not good.
Yeah.
So there's more rationale to stim
Yeah.
lateral lumbar flexion left or hip hike left or
Yeah.
whatever you want to
Okay.
play with there. So there's some rationale there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
especially because he's getting a cramp response, which might mean that his tissue isn't like conditioned to be doing that thing.
Yeah.
Right. So there's
Okay.
that. That's I mean that would be a good route to take if you're trying to impact the lumbar spine. And just kind of dip your toes in and go, okay, let's see are things changing. If not, maybe this isn't the route. But if you're starting to see some changes, then latch onto it.
I think there's like some rationale there. I mean, like the guy gets like pretty much improves with reps most of the time, and then these are the things that are kind of like funky.
Yeah.
We did look at his ankle the session before.
Yeah.
And he had some plantar flexion eversion on the left.
Okay.
Those kind of cleared. he's doing some weird like knee comp this last time, but mostly everything that happened with him that was low quality involved his toes
Okay.
in plantar flexion. Inversion. Yeah, he was fine with eversion.
Okay. So then, once again, same thing, like, and I can't remember because I know we talked about this, but like in the hypothesis component of this, what are you trying to test in the foot? What's the goal? What are you trying? What's
stability.
Okay, where?
In the ankle.
Ankle stability. Okay.
And we
So
know that he like from the P2, it's just
Yeah.
like his control going
Yep.
down is
Yep.
just like
mush. Okay. So we're looking at whether he's got control, range of motion wise, or quality wise, or
yeah.
Okay. So you went left ankle in plantar flexion with toe flexion, things get mushy.
Yep.
And is it plantar flexion or toe flexion that gets mushy?
Toe.
Toe flexion gets mushy. Plantar flexion is high quality.
Yep, but that changed. That was just that one session and then it was better.
Okay, so we can kind of, we're concerned about things that aren't changing. So in plantar flexion, do his toes stay low quality, even after that first session? The P-flex changed, right?
Yes.
Toe flexion didn't?
No.
So toe flexion is constant.
Yeah, it was, plantar flexion was fine, but you get the
Yep.
toes involved, not fine.
Meaning so toes go low quality or plantar flexion goes low quality?
Plantar flexion.
Okay, and do toes go low quality also?
No.
Toes are high quality?
No, toes are high quality. Actually, I'm not 100% sure that I
Okay.
checked that.
Okay, so yeah, this would be another thing, right? If we're looking at ankle stability.
Yeah.
And we're like, I think that plantar flexion is the thing that's gonna be breaking down. We check P-flex, it's high quality. You're like, I'm not convinced that it's like, that everything is good here. And you do the toe flexion and P-flex goes low quality. And then you have options here, right? I would probably then also check toe flexion.
Yeah.
To see if toe flexion was impacting the P-flex. So then we're going, okay, it's actually not P-flex by itself. It's maybe toe flexion impacting upstream, which means then we can start leveraging some synergies. Like we can have them iso P-flex and then toe flex with systematicity or something like that,
Okay.
right? But that would be a good way to like tease out whether it's P-flex or toe flex.
Yeah.
And then you can also, like, for example, like if toe flex is low quality and it's making P-flex low quality, if you go D-flex with toe flex and toe flex goes high quality, then we know it's a combination of P-flex and toe flex, not just toe flex. Does that make sense? You want me to say it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
T-flex.
if P-flex is high quality and toe flex plus P-flex is low quality.
Yep.
And then we go D-flex and then check the toe flexion in D-flexion and it goes high quality. Then we know it's the culmination or the combo of the shortening of the plantar flexor tissue and the toe flexor tissue that makes that thing go low quality. So we know it's a combo versus if toe flexion is low quality and D-flex, I might be like, maybe it's just the toe flexion thing. And
Right. Like if
that.
toe flexion made D-flex, dorsiflexion,
Low
low
quality,
quality.
or it's just low quality. They're like they can't keep their dorsiflexion, they just can't keep their toes curled in dorsiflexion
yeah.
or plantar flexion or neutral. I'm like, oh, it's toe. It's
Yeah.
toes. Versus like, oh, it's good here and then we go here and it's mush. Okay, but the P flex is strong. Well, it's this thing shortened all the way down. Okay.
Which is the issue.
So push down and then curl, and we're not even loading the toes. We're loading the ankle, and then having them actively, voluntarily.
Yeah.
My other toes, and then you can start stemming that thing up. But that's kind of a way to like tease out
Okay.
from the order of
And
operations
then you can
standpoint.
kind of like look at like toe extension too, if like you're not getting things cleared, like that you might look at that plyo out of
Yeah,
toe
Yep.
extension.
definitely.
Maybe you're
In the
kinda
P flex.
hammered
Yep, 100%.
Just different ways to stimulate, and then you're like, we're not getting
I would
anywhere
say
here.
different ways. Yes, different ways to stimulate and assess. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean you're gonna get somewhere, guaranteed. Like if you exhaust these things, you're
Yeah.
gonna get somewhere, because there's 400 options here that you can look at, and just being diligent about like, okay, let's check all the patterns downstream, all the things that could happen downstream here. You know, same thing with the hip hike.
Well, that's what I want to think about. Jeez.
Quick, man.
Is looking at the lateral lumbar flexion seated as well, kind of like putting some more awareness there in
Okay.
addition to just the trunk flexion, and then looking at maybe the cervical rotation seated as well.
Yeah.
Because he did feel like when he ISO'd here, he didn't have, and he kind of stemmed up this stuff, he didn't have the same.
Decreased sensation
It
there.
decreased, yeah. So the first test in that was like, and then we did it again, and it would, we did
Nice.
like 3 ISOs, and
That's awesome.
it was better.
Yeah.
So I wonder
Yeah.
what that looks like seated,
Yeah.
if that helps.
I love it. Yeah, I think what I would recommend you do right now, and
Yes.
just kind of like clear this with Brennan and be like, dude, like I want to take one more crack at phase 1, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I
Yeah.
think he's getting pretty, like, I don't know where his head's at with it.
I think he's okay.
He's good. Okay, that's
I think
perfect.
he's good.
Okay.
I think he's also like, dude, I know I haven't made like hardly any time
Cool. Okay.
outside of this, and he's just
Okay.
like feels like, I think this is my intake. My
Yeah.
take is that I feel like he feels like we're on a track
Okay,
and
cool.
we're doing stuff.
Good. That as long as he's like, yeah, I mean, he's getting it for free. He should.
Yeah.
But what I would probably do right now is retool the report of findings
Okay.
to give you direction, because there's a reason that there's objectives and goals.
Yeah.
And with this, like, this hip hike thing, the goal is to balance the spine. The objective is to figure out if reverse engineering right hip hike to left hip hike improves quality or improves control in the spine, lumbar and thoracic, right? So I would like glom in phase 1.1, lumbar spine testing, reverse engineering, exhaust it.
Yeah.
If that doesn't do it, go to trunk rotation, just check quality, make sure that's good. Left side bend, kind of pair the hip hike and the side bend together, make sure that's working. Have those things kind of in the loop and figure out if there's anything weird going on there. And then you're curious about the cervical influence, so you could, phase 1.2 could be explore cervical mechanics as it relates, do quality checks, see where he's at, do that thing, but just have a good, clean reported findings there. And then last thing is left foot.
Okay.
And I would just, explore all that weird toe action.
We did do the cervical effect screen too.
Okay.
Well, it was only the hip, so I think that's another place to go. But mostly he just had like this dull, like right side, just like kind of hard on each left. Yeah, I need to get more information on that. Okay.
I would address the spinal mechanics before going into any more like screeny stuff.
Okay.
Because it looks right now like he's got, some asymmetries right here. Got some asymmetries and some kind of funky stuff going
Yeah, we
on.
have enough